My name is Amanda. I'm the VP of Operations at Ancient Peaks Winery, which is just over the hill in Santa Margarita, as well as the president and founder of Dream Big Darling and the co-founder of Wine Speak Pastoral Bowls. So I'm happy to share and talk a little bit about my experience over the last couple years, which has included so many people in this room on a successful journey for making an impact in our industry as well as our local community. I'm a fourth generation native to the San Luis Obispo County. I'm a mother of two, and the idea behind Dream Big Darling, which I believe is, aside from my roping skills, which finally came in handy for something, right? So, which is what I think probably was the catalyst for receiving this great honor. And I have to tell you, it's pretty humbling because there is a whole line of people behind me in this community, at our company, and my family that really make this all happen. So it's a big hats off to all of them. But the idea behind Dream Big Darling was really to encourage the next generation of leaders in our wine and spirits industry to think differently. Like many of you in this room, and I'm not keeping track of the time, so, okay. Like many of you in this room, you all see the world through a different lens. I've been raised personally and professionally by entrepreneurs, and what I began to realize was these guys are different. Most people would think they're crazy, but if you take a step back, you realize that they really just see things differently. Failure is only feedback. And getting up is the only answer when you fall down. And I think we need more of that. We need more of that in this world and in our industry and in this community. We need more of it now than ever before. We need the next generation thinking of why they can instead of making an excuse on why they won't. And I think that honestly, in my humble opinion, will change the world. In 2014, I started a multi-divisional internship program. I was 8 months pregnant, and my dad said, "Can you let this girl job shadow you for a week?" And I'm like, fine, right? So, and what I began to realize was this next generation of youth, they got no clue, a lot of them. They're going through the education system, which is wonderful, but it's education, and the real world is not black and white. There's no one grading you at the end of the day. The key is to keep trying and get up when you fall, and the only two things you can control is your attitude, and I forgot the other one, but it's, okay, that's number one, so your attitude. And your work ethic, right? Okay, there we go. So I said, well, let's start an internship program. And they said, well, what do you want us to do? And I said, well, start an internship program. So their first thing was to develop an internship program. And I said, well, you'd probably be better off in getting into the industry if you knew something about it. So how about this? Let's get you going in direct-to-consumer, wholesale, events, production, and winemaking. That ought to give you a good start if you can spend some time in each of those fields. Many people in the room have been one of the professionals that they were asked to interview and have coffee with, asking a Q&A. What would you offer as far as advice to someone my age? How did you navigate your career? And I couldn't believe the results of this program, which was very small. I had Kawasaki Motorsports meeting with the director of HR, giving them advice about this program, as well as some other pretty large-scale companies. So I thought, well, maybe we're onto something. And then when I would get letters and speak with the parents of these kids, they were like, man, that was better than college. And I'm like, really? Geez, okay. So then it got me thinking, well, what else can we do? Success is kind of like, I don't know, a drug maybe, I guess you would say. So I'm like, well, if we did that, maybe we could do something else. So I started Dream Big Darling. My grandmother always called me Darling. And at her funeral, there was like 600 people. She was a telephone operator and made the best burger in the Mid-State Fairgrounds for a number of years. But, not a famous lady, right? And what I realized was the gift of kindness and love is the most powerful thing that we can give in this world. And the internship program was a catalyst of that. So landing the cover of Wine Enthusiast magazine, pretty awesome, but teaching the next generation to dream big and create this culture of kindness is probably more important. And I thank you very much for allowing me to speak, and I hope you all continue to pay it forward as well.